safe to be here, profitable to invest in Georgia, lowest taxes in Europe, fastest adoption of modern technologies, top countries in the mining, huge demand in the new investments, very much welcome.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. Today I would like to invite in our YouTube channel the Ministry of Finance and Economy, Jaba Phutkaradze. Hello Jaba, how are you?
Good. Finance and Economy of Ajara. This is very important.
Okay, that's perfect. So I would like to tell to our YouTube viewers about your background, from where you came here, why you chose this direction, and what is your passion just to be a Ministry of Economy and Finance of Ajara?
Well, I was traveling a lot in different industries and sectors and kind of the universities, but my aspiration always was finance and economy. I was working in banking in different countries, also in consulting in one of the international consulting companies. So I had very direct links to the business, to the industry. So, and at one point there was a need in good financial professionals with the top team, with a new chairman who would lead the processes, lead the reforms. And this is how I appeared at this position.
Yeah, it's nice to hear, like young, experienced minister we have. So my next question goes to the general overview of the economy. What's going on right now in Adjara? What numbers you are looking at?
This is very important to mention that starting from 2011,
yes,
we have on average double-digit increase, annual increase in the number of the GDP. So you can imagine how quickly the economy is growing despite the pandemic year. 2020 and 2022 was the very special year for us because it was like the right after the pandemics, and we managed to very quickly get out of these troubles. And actually we expect that this the 2022 will have the GDP, the kind of the final data will be around more than 13%. So you can imagine all these figures, of course, translate directly to the economy and to the welfare of our population. I should say one more indicator, FDIs, foreign direct investors, which is also growing. I would like to especially emphasize on the tendency in the FDI. The reinvestment component is kind of the traditionally increases, and this is very important since all the businesses who already operate in the country, so they try to reinvest. So they try to keep this money in this country and in different industries, which means that they feel comfortable. So all the businesses, especially the foreign businesses, they feel comfortable to invest here and to be here. I tell you, 9 months of 2022, the statistics, we have 11% increase in the number of the new jobs. This is also a very important indicator. And all these figures, of course, eventually affected the budget of the region. We also had the increase in 2022, and also we have more than 15% increase in the budget of 2023. So you can imagine all these transactions, all the economic increase and the kind of the economic activity influences as the population, so the budget of the region.
After pandemic, let's say, we can say that economy of Adjara is recovered. Like, is it totally recovered, or still there is some points we are just waiting for, or some sectors still on the process?
Our economy is based on several sectors. I would say, first of all, it's a tourism. According to the statistics, the most important indicator, we have passed the 2019 numbers in the income generated from the tourism, around 20%. So we like this year, the 2022 was very important from this perspective. So we very quickly recovered from the pandemics, and the tourism was one of the important industries, and we had the very huge progress here. The number of the visitors, especially the number of the flights in the Batumi International Airport, increased compared to the 2021 and also compared to 2019. And of course, as I said, the income generated from the tourism also increased compared to 2019. Another very important industry is the real estate. So in the real estate industry, we had 37% increase in the number of the transactions. And these are the figures only for the 9 months of 2022. So you can imagine how quickly all the industries have recovered. We have recovering in the export as well. We have huge recovery and income in the energy. And one of the very important industry, also logistics. We have passed all the kind of the top data in the history of these regions. Here I mean port, airport, and also just the road kind of the transportation. So all these data are at the historical maximum. So you can imagine how quickly we managed to recover the economy.
Yes, the numbers are really stunning. From the real estate perspective, I can say that we really recovered and paced. So you mentioned 9 months. The last 3 months as well was the tendency is quite high. So it's like amazing. And my next question goes to the what do you think? So the migration flow right now is increasing. So a lot of people are coming. They are choosing Batumi as a destination for remote work, as a place just to live with families. So do you think the business sector is ready for this? I mean, what challenges they have, and what is this vision from your perspective?
I should say that for the last couple of years, the development of the business goes at a very, very high path, and they try to adapt to these new challenges, kind of to get the new professionals, get the new vision, implement know-how, and they are on a very good track. But as you can imagine, the competition is always on the market, considering that the region is very attractive for the foreigners, for the foreign investors. So of course, the local businesses should try to keep this development. I would say that the demand of, and this is also the statistics of the 9 months, demand in the real estate industry increased 50%. So as you can imagine, this is huge speed, and the businesses need to adapt. I know that there are several good companies actually who try to chase these challenges, and they are making quite a lot of progress, but still there is so many things to be done to upgrade the country and the region. And so we would love to position, and actually we are positioning ourselves as one of the top destinations, especially in tourism, in real estate, in transportation, and also in kind of the logistics. So we need to keep this development.
So it's the direction and all these numbers is only identified not only for us and by us. Let's say the Europe is identified this as we are one of the, let's say, fast tracking and destinations. So we actually won the Oscar of this in this direction. So what can you say about this? And as we know, the next year will be the hosting country.
Yes, we got this very important international recognition. So Batumi is the fastest growing emerging touristic destination. And of course, this positions Batumi and whole Adjara and whole country as one of the top desired touristic destination. We made a lot of changes, of course, starting from the infrastructure and also continuing with the diversification of the services, especially in different sub-tourism sectors. Of course, the qualification of the staff. So we kind of try to improve the services and the quality of the services. And as I also mentioned, the diversification of the services. So we try to continue and be one of the destinations in kind of the mass tourism, but we also try to position ourselves in different directions like sport tourism, wellness tourism, and this eventually direction is ecotourism, especially after the pandemics. All these directions have particular importance, and all these gave us the opportunity to kind of position ourselves and of course win the different nominees and Oscars in different directions. This is very important that Georgia will be and Batumi will be hosting this year kind of the gala ceremony, and this is kind of the one more opportunity so everyone and the whole world to know about Batumi and Georgia and also visit us.
Actually, right now next year the business will be more ready for just hosting such kind of, let's say, an amazing event.
This is very important that on average there is around 14,000 new real estate assets created every year here in Batumi. So you can imagine how quickly the tourism and real estate industry is growing and developing. And of course, we expect that the visitors, they will have the kind of the proportional increase in the number of the visitors and also the investors.
Yeah, and I would say is based on the experience of our companies that we have like investors, not only the Western or Eastern Europe, we have investors from USA. So such kind of ceremonies, such kind of activities from the government and from the private sector as well, increasing the total awareness. And so we are just, Batumi is getting more and more globalized. Right now, I just want to know about future infrastructure projects, what's going on in Batumi, because we have, let's say, an amazing and ambitious plans, and I'm pretty sure that it will be like turned to the reality.
Of course, infrastructure is one of the most important direction where the government is trying to attract the investments and also to invest. This year we have 15% increase in the budget of the government, and I should say that 65% on average. The budget of the Autonomous Republic of Adjara is spent on the infrastructure. Huge projects. I should say that we are very heavily investing in the communal infrastructure with the support of the international financial institutions. We started already the water supply and waste water treatment projects in Batumi and also in the mountainous and actually all the municipalities of Adjara, and within the next couple of years we will have like 24-hour water supply in all the villages and the populated areas in Adjara. Another very important project is the waste management project. We have built a new landfill and which will be operated with the up-to-date modern technologies, of course with the separation, with the recycling, with the gas extraction. This project will start already. The construction process is already done, and this project will be starting operating autumn this year, and also simultaneously we will start the closing of the existing dam site, which is in Batumi, kind of the conservation of this one, which is very important from the environment perspective and also from the infrastructural perspective. The road construction is ongoing in Batumi in different municipalities and areas. New schools, new kindergartens, new sport arenas like stadium, different type of the water pool, ice arena, and all this type of the infrastructure under the construction. Apart from this one, we have also a lot of very important projects coming up from the private sector. I should mention the Batumi Island, which is actually the new world in the development and prosperity of Adjara and Batumi. New island construction is going on very intensively, by the way, and it will help the private sector and also the government to attract new investments, create new jobs, and actually upgrade and position Batumi also at the different level. There are several other projects with this is also very important, with the new hotels, with the new apart hotels, in the real estate, in the tourism industry. And as I said, there is huge demand in the real estate, and also there is huge demand from the visitors and from the tourist perspective. And of course, we have to be ready from the infrastructure perspective.
Yes, that's so you already mentioned, so the private sector and public sector collaboration, and it's very important in the way of development. Thanks for this. And we would like, and our viewers, just to know from the perspective of Ministry of Economy and Finance and Economy, we are all the time saying that why we should invest in Batumi, that everything, all rights are secured, and even the justice house, our justice house is using the modern technologies, I mean, blockchain system, which is like storing all the data. So it's like very safe. I would like to point out like some why the investors from different countries invest in Adjara. What are the main points from your perspective?
I think the most important thing for the investor is the security. Okay, the person who comes here, he can, doesn't matter either investor or the visitor, everyone can feel that it's safe to be here. Okay. First of all, I should start from the kind of the cultural and kind of the general living conditions. So it doesn't matter from which country you come from which religion, what views. Here, everyone finds something for themselves and everyone feels comfortable. Of course, this is because of the traditions of this country. So guests are treated like God, and this is not just the word, this is the reality, and you can feel and see it in every aspect. Another thing is that we are one of the top country for the more than decade in ease of doing the business. Okay, with all the parameters, it is very easy to start and operate the business. And as I mentioned, FDI, and especially the reinvestment component of FDI, is like the very good emphasis on this, that the person who already came here, who started the operation, they feel very much comfortable. They do not want to go and take the investments from this country. They try to attract more and, most importantly, reinvest. So this is one more indicator, also apart from these international recognitions, like very practical kind of the indication that they feel comfortable. One more very important thing is like the transparency of all the transactions on and all the activity, as from the private sector and especially from the government. Another very important thing is the support from the government. Government is always, it doesn't matter the central government, the local government, municipal government, everyone, the main thing of all these government entities is to provide the support. And of course, from the profitability, this is very profitable to invest in Georgia. First of all, I should start from the taxes. We have lowest taxes in Europe, and these are not offshore. These are the real rates. We have only 5 taxes here, which are very transparent, which are very straightforward and understandable for everyone. And this is kind of the additional advantage. And another thing is just the profitability of the business itself. For example, as an example, I should say that investments in apart hotels, for example, it gave on average 11 to 13%. The investment in the development, okay, the return on investment is more than 20%. So you can imagine how attractive are these businesses here. And the similar rates apply to all the other directions. Payback period, for example, for the tourist and hospitality sector, in the real estate in the hospitality sector, is 6 to 7 years, which is also very attractive. And this is kind of the maximum. The cheaper labor force, this is also one more very important aspect. And also the geographical location of the country. From the logistics perspective, this is very attractive. We have the port, airport, highway connections with the neighbor countries. Very important, Georgia and whole region is part of this free trade agreement with EU. Georgia is the only country who has also the trade agreements with China, with Turkey, with USA and Canada, and of course with the EU area. So it makes this country very attractive. Very important industry, for example, which is started to develop for last couple of years, is the textile industry. So a lot of companies, they moved their factories in Batumi, in Georgia, and from Georgia they produce the textile which is mainly exported. And these are exported to EU area and USA and Canada. So, and this is much more attractive for them because it's cheaper, very easy to start business, and kind of the general conditions in the country make them come to this region.
Yes, that's great. I also want to mention what we have seen during this period, that there people are coming just and starting their IT businesses and startups. So what do you think? So Batumi is like getting like more and more popular with this direction, because all of you mentioned it's like amazing condition just to do a business, startup, IT directions, and work remotely here, enjoy life.
We are one of the countries who with the fastest adoption of modern technologies. And here I mainly mean the blockchain and crypto technologies. We have a lot of initiatives from the central ministries of economy and also Central Bank of Georgia to liberalize the blockchain technologies. Yes. Central Bank already initiated the AML regulations. Yes. in crypto and blockchain, and this is we position as one of the top countries in the mining. To kind of the summarize, we try to follow these modern developments in technologies. Very soon, within the next couple of months, we will have very significant reforms which will make this country even more attractive for this type of the industries. And of course, from the people who already work remotely, this country is attractive because of the climate, because, as I already mentioned, the cultural aspects of the yes. country, cheaper living expenses. That's why a lot of people, especially working in IT, they come and kind of they bring the families to live here.
From the government perspective, we've seen that previous year there was a meeting with the CEO of Binance, actually. So they are just working together. The government is just most likely all the time just trying just to help like all this modernity and just implement it in reality, which is like based on regulations and just to make more tangible, let's say. Thanks for this. I would say the last but not least question, what kind of message would you like to convey to the not only investors, just the visitors who are going to come to Batumi or they are already in Batumi? So what's the message from the minister to those people?
You are very much welcome. This country is created with its tradition, with the historical background to provide the support and facilitate and to treat our visitors as our gods. This is kind of the part of the tradition. I would like to repeat here. The people, the real estate, the commercial sector, and most importantly, the government, we all are working with only one idea: to facilitate the development of this country, to facilitate the proper development of different sectors and industries. And this will happen only in case if our visitors and our foreign guests will feel comfortable here. And this country, especially this city and this region, is doing maximum to provide the comfort for the visitors, for the investors, and facilitate all the processes. There is huge demand in the new investments. There is huge demand in the qualified workforce, just increase in the population. So everyone, doesn't matter from which country, from which cultural, religion background, everyone is very much welcomed here to live, to prosper, and also to find the profitable ideas and the projects here.
I would like to thank you again to the Mr. Minister for joining us and being so open, and to all of our viewers. So thank you for this.